Fiona's home and ISO. Good evening, Sue McGonchi. Robin, Fiona's here. Hello, Joan. Good evening to you. Yvonne Chapman. I'm just trying to think who's on my hit list this evening. I know I'm on a lot of your hit lists. I've got to think. I've got a couple. So Yvonne, you're not one of them. Glenda, you're not one of them. Denise, you are definitely not. Definitely not one of them. Good evening, Jill. Your lovely big order left. It's on its way. Francis, your kit's on its way. Good evening, Val. Oh, I'm on Val's hit list. Note out there. I will do that tomorrow morning for you, Val. I was going to the hairdresser. No, I'm not. That's another story. Cecily, good evening. And to everyone from Cecily. Fiona's home in ISO. Oh, what a shame. You might have to give it. What? No, you're not on the Makes no difference. Makes no difference, Fiona. If you're in the house together, you're in the house. Let me tell you, it's the way it goes. You love Tassie, but you brought home COVID as a souvenir. That's usually not what we bring home from Tasmania. That's not what usually we bring home as a souvenir. Sharon Keys, good evening to you. Hello, Jan. Jill Cross, got your message. Thanks. Good evening, Pam. Good evening, Floria. Hope you are well. I know what I have for Floria. Jane, hi. Kathy, good evening. Liz, good evening. Liz, if you haven't been here before, I apologise, but welcome to Chandlers Cottage. Janet says hi to everyone. Bev Clark's here. Anne Evans, good evening. So nice to be able to join you live from the UK. Just started your geisha quilt. Fantastic. In fact, I was nearly like... Because I've got a little bit of an overlay with Natasha, which happens when we do an evening show. And I was busy sitting watching Tash, and they went, heavens, it's my turn. I'd better go. Rosemary, good evening to you. State of Origin in one room, Lisa in another. I'm sorry, I'm a Victorian. That app, no, never mind. Hello, Anne. Hello to you. Didn't order for you this week. Cheryl, good evening. Lynette Cohen's here, and Lynette Kelly, and Leslie's here, Christine's here, Judy Vermeulen is in the house. There's a rumour, there's a vicious rumour, Judy, that you were coming this way. Is that true? We need to talk. Fiona, hello. Hazel, hi. Karen DeWilt is hello. How are you going, mate? All things I hope are getting back on track. Lynette, hi. Tony, good evening to you too. Joan, oh, I could keep going. Is this going to... Let me just... I'm nearly there. Kerry Lee, good evening to you. Yvonne Collison, Joe Krause. Is it Olga? Olga, you're going to have to tell me if I've said that right, please. But welcome to Chandler's Cottage. Cheryl Bowman and Sue and Pam and Jackie Ferguson. It says it's freezing, and I can imagine, what food factory did I used to go to in Wagga? Was it Primrose? What was I doing in Wagga? I was there on more than one occasion as in my food science days, and I do remember some very, very, very cold evenings. So Tasha on the big VT and you on the iPad. Thanks, Kate. We share the love around, and that is so funny. Yeah, I've been talking to Timmy Jude. Because Emma's taking her beautiful Bonina in for its first service, which I can't believe she missed the whole get it serviced within 6 months. Never mind. It's going in next week. Hello, Robin. Lovely for you to join me. Thank you very much, everyone. Look, this evening is just Coke. Diet Coke, okay, there's no Bundy, nothing else going in there, no Jimmy, nothing, okay. This evening is the second installation, if you like, of the Oriental Baltimore. So, last month, I so feel like the weather girl when we do this. I've been doing it on A Quilter's Life with Madame Butterfly, and over here, and over this side. It just feels like a weather girl. So last month we did this one, which was the Cherry Blossom Block. Now I would show you mine, if I could find it. I know it's somewhere safe, and it's only difficult. Actually, it might be. No, it's only difficult to find because I don't have like the big kit stash, this like with Madame Butterfly, which I have to find actually over there next to you on the camera. I've got a big bookshelf, and it's becoming the Madame Butterfly shelves because I've got 3 happening in unison at the moment, and I'm hoping to maintain that for as long as I can, so I end up with 3 quilts. So that one can go to Natasha, and one will go to Española, to Spain, to Maria, or with me to Maria next year. So that's the plan. I don't have a big stash or a kit because, remember, we're doing this 1 month at a time with a kit as the time, and also it's part of your Quilters Life membership. So it's not like I had a big box. So there's only the 1 block in a little bag somewhere. I will find it. So anyway, that is the cherry blossom. So last month we did bagging out techniques. Now, that is still up on Facebook, and it's also uploaded onto my Lisa Chandler YouTube channel. So you can have a look at it. But the only way to get the pattern, and I want to just get this tally-sally bit out of the way now, the only way to get this pattern, the best possible way to do it for you, is to join a Quilters Life, because it's part of your $10 a month membership. So if I push this button and do that, it's quilterslife.podia.com. So for $10 a month, you will be able to access for a month at a time. We popped up the cherry blossoms block on the 15th of June, and it comes down tomorrow. Tomorrow's the last day to grab that pattern off as part of your membership. And then the next day, on the 15th, is that right? Have I got my dates right? I think I have. Ginny, do not start doing the bell thing. I am right. So on the 15th, the new one will go up, which is the maple. So it was a good night tonight to do it. So I could remind you all to get in there and grab that pattern. If you don't like internet stuff, well, you're on Facebook, but you know what I mean. If you don't want to do that, you can buy it as a kit. You can't buy the individual block pattern, but you can go onto the website, and I have tagged what we've got still there. I think I've tagged it with the pattern. You can go in there and buy the block kit, and it comes with all the fabric and the pattern in it, but it is much better value to get on and get that pattern. Then if you do want just the fabric, you will find I have popped up the kit tonight with the pattern and without the pattern. So if you just want to get the fabric, you can, and download your pattern off of Quilters Life. But you might also have a fantastic collection of fabric to use. Who doesn't? So, and I'll show you a couple of other ones tonight that I think are really, really good for this block, aside of what I've put in the kit. So we'll run through that. So you can join a Quilters Life, and for $10 a month you will get one of the block patterns. And this show will actually go up as well, so you've got the demo stuff on there, so it's really easy to access. Or you can buy a little kit. Steve very, very pointedly said to me, we are not on the never doing cherry blossom kits. When they're gone, they're gone. And I think he's actually right. I think we're, whatever's left there will be left as kits. We're not going to keep cutting them. So grab one now. I think there is a few left, but grab one. And then we'll move on. And we've got all the maple leaf ones ready. Before, just so I can clear my desk, before we go any further, we are down to 3.5 weeks to Ngambie, to our first country or first Northern Country soiree. So if you haven't booked your tickets yet, I did look at the bookings today. We've got a few spots. It's really interesting this time. We've got an even number of spots left on each day. When we were down at Garfield, we had a full Saturday, and then we had half the number on the Sunday. And when I talked to all the girls, they said, well, we thought the Sunday would be really busy, so we chose the Saturday. So it kind of swings and roundabouts. So we've got some spots left on each day, and you will see us do some pretty hefty advertising over the next 3 weeks, because we want it to pack to the rafter with gorgeous quilters from all over the state or beyond, because we think it's just the best opportunity at the moment to put a crowd together of stitchers in a beautiful big country hall. So that's our logo. Sorry, I'm trying to blind you with it because it's shiny. And just before, while I was still watching Natasha, I was playing with my door prizes. So I'll show you what I've been doing. So at the soiree, every hour, on the hour, there is a door prize draw. So I just thought I'd show you. This is one of mine. So so all of us are doing 4. Okay, so there's 12 altogether. So 6 each day, which is really nice. Every hour someone gets up and says, pulls a name out of a hat, and someone gets to go and pick a gorgeous box off the stage, and it's theirs. And your odds are pretty good. So this is one of mine. I did a pink one. Sharon Keys, I know, we can't wait. I can't keep hope. Hope you, who haven't told, worked out. Oh, okay. Sorry, I should read my comments at the same time, shouldn't I? Yes, print it off, everyone. Please print it off. I'm resting at home. Oh, creep. Catherine, that is terrible. Creep's a horrible thing. Nah, Rosemary, it's not even funny. Okay. Good evening, Jenny Sleeman. Hey, it's not even funny. Hi, Chris. Chris Otto's here. Well, it's in a safe place. That's all I'm going to say. It's in a very safe place. Tracy, good evening. Wendy, good evening. Donna, hi. How are you? So you're all here. Cool. Hello, Sylvia. Yeah, you better print it off, Fiona. Quick Smart. That's one. I'm trying to be a little bit colour coordinated. So this is, I'll just show you this one too. It's my blue one. So I went and picked some of my favourite pre-cuts and some denim and some Liberty. So all the door prizes, we had this little natter. If you saw us on Facebook earlier in the week, we had a little natter Monday morning marathon meeting. You know, our door prizes are pretty hefty. You know, we always make sure their retail value is way up, you know, well over $50. I'm going to say that out loud. Well over $50 for each one. So it's pretty good. Oh, speaking of door prizes as well, time we had another door prize. Orders placed from now until 5 to 2 on Saturday afternoon. The last ever, you can't even see that, can you? It's all too shiny. The last ever under the Australian Charm Pack. As it is now, I'm just reformatting it, but that is, I put it down, that's the last one with all the pretty pinks to make up this quilt in the spring colours. It's got the black one on the back, okay? But that is the last one of its kind, and then we're going to a new format. So that will be a prize for anyone, non-subscription club, I should say. So if you place an order from now until 5 to 2 on Saturday, because at 2 o'clock on Saturday, Karen Stiles is in the building. She's coming to me. She's going to come on Facebook, and we're going to have a really nice little chat about all her gorgeous reproduction, antique looking quilts, and she'll be showing us what she's doing for the soiree as well, and talking about traditional piecing techniques. So a little bit like I did with Margaret, but she's only going to bring, I think I asked her to bring 2 of her quilts because she's got big quilts. And we'll hang one and have a look at another. But she will also be putting up an exhibition of all her beautiful quilts, because it's the perfect place for them, down the main hallway from the front door that leads into the hall at Nagambie. So not only are you going to have a soiree for the weekend, stuff to sew, yummy morning tea, you're going to have a beautiful exhibition of reproduction quilts by Karen there to show to you, and you can just walk down and have a look anytime you like. It's going to be just lovely. So anyway, she'll be here on Saturday, and then Marg is coming on as well. Bye, June. Marg's coming on as well next week. She's just arranging her life around family, and of course she's not around the corner. She is down Gippsland, so she will be here next week. I'm hoping Wednesday afternoon. So hold on to that thought. And we will, well, you and I, we'll talk in between. I've got a couple of other little things just happening that I want to come on and tell you about in between those shows. So we'll just play that one by ear. And I'll just give you a couple of hours notice. And if you're free, you're free. If you're not, you can watch it any time. All right, so we'll do all of that. Now we want to get on to... Tracy, it's a very civilised time for us in the UK. Well, yes, it is. It is. It is morning, isn't it? It's late morning. A little bit of brunch, a little bit of lunch coming up. Very civilised time. Okay, we did bag out with this one. With each block we do, I want to just make sure we cover or advance a technique that we've talked about before. So sometimes as we go through them, I'll be able to say, okay, we're going to do the same as what we did on the cherry blossom block, but they're just slightly smaller pieces, or it's a little bit narrower, or it'll just be an advancement or a tweak on a technique. But we're only at month 2, so we're going to do a very different technique tonight to pre-shape our leaves. So these ones, I'm sure I mentioned about the maple ones last month, that these were lovely to start with bagging out, because most of them have got these lovely outer curves on them. So it was a great place to start with that technique. Again, a Quilters Life Girls, I did another little video this afternoon and popped it up for you on Madame Butterfly. And those that are doing Madame Butterfly with me on a Quilters Life, all part of your $10. See, I put that in. Lot of bagging out going on. Beautiful stuff. So we should be bragging, shouldn't we, about what we're doing to those that aren't in the club. We'll do that on Saturday. We'll start showing people what we're doing. So that's good for bagging out, but not here. Not as much here. You could do it, but of course now we've got all of these inner points and curves. It's going to be really hard to get these nice and crisp using that technique. So tonight we are going to use Polyfuse, which is one of my favourite things that was introduced to me by the gorgeous, amazing, yes, name dropping again, Maria Waters. So this is a paper. So I'm just doing the hair. Look at the growth. Look at the regrowth. You now know I am so not blonde. My hairdresser got stuck on the mountain. She has a salon down here and she has a salon up at the snow. She got stuck on the mountain with snow, so no hair morning tomorrow, but it will be done before Saturday, I promise, before the Saturday show. Anyway, sorry, I got sidetracked. This paper is, for all intents and purposes, acid-free, and it will degrade over time, and it will degrade with water, with movement, with use. I was very, very skeptical about this when I first saw Maria using it, but I'm now a complete convert on this stuff. So it is, let me just get rid of all your yummy door prizes. I'll just put these down over here, down there. Oh, I can see where the others are. I'll show you those Saturday. So, and I've still got I thought I got rid of my squeak on my stool. Never mind. This is it. It's the most inert, boring looking thing, isn't it? It's just like a fibrous paper, like a handmade paper. So you can see one side, see how that's shiny, other side not shiny. So it does have a speckle of adhesive over it, and I'm told it's all water soluble, a little bit like what a water soluble glue is made up of, like these. So but it's applied onto the back of the paper. So what it enables us to do is cut shapes out, and this is where it really got to me. You cut the shape out of this, a little bit like you do with steamer seam of Lysafix. So you need that reverse pattern, and then you stick it onto the back of your fabric, and then you cut away and leave a seam allowance, and you fold it over onto the paper, and you leave it in. That's what got me. I had a lot of trouble accepting that it was going to stay in. If you saw the quilt that Maria Waters won with at the Sydney show, was last week before, do a little bit of a Google, look at the winners of that national show, Maria Waters, have a look at the quilt, all done with Polyfuse. Hop on and have a look at Renaissance Revival by Maria Waters, which lives in the Paducah Museum. It's all Polyfuse. She uses it lots and lots, and the wonderful thing about it too is you can actually put it through an inkjet printer. So she actually prints all of her pattern shapes, all her teeny weeny little flowers onto it, and then cuts them out. Amazing. So in the primitive form of it, that's what we're going to do tonight, and we're going to have a little bit of a play. So in the kits that we've got, or if you don't have a kit, I'm recommending with all of the blocks that you start with a fat quarter, because we are going to come back and cut them down into octagons later on, but it's just lovely having all this space. You have got the option as well later on of doing this quilt as you go if you want to. Now We haven't talked about that yet, but and more and more I think about it, I will give you both options as we get towards the end. The pattern certainly comes with the traditional method, but in the demos that I'll do for you on Facebook and on A Quilter's Life, we will go through that option for you. So just start with a nice big bit for me for each block. And then, you know, it leaves us open to being able to do what we want to later. Good evening, Jimmy. How are you? I haven't set up your account yet because I don't know how to. Steve's going to do it. Hey, Flick, good evening to you. Got your parcel ready to leave in the morning. Hello, Nancy. Lovely to see you. Hi, Gwen. Marie Evans, good evening. I thought you might like the nighttime show. I just thought you might. Okay, so this is our piece. Remember what we did last month? Fold in half that way. And then you will fold the other way, if you so wish, to have your center, and then you're going to transfer your pattern on. So if you're not sure how to do this, please go back and have a look at last month, because we could go through and through and do it each month, but we don't really need to, do we? I don't think we do. Just go back and have a look for me. Have a look on YouTube if you can't find. Didn't want to scroll through Facebook. This, when you get these patterns, you're going to go, well, at least we've really gone up in the world with the quality and the weight of the paper. We haven't. It's just that I was being kind of wined and dined in a printer kind of way with Canon printing, because our space station comes on Friday, and then some space cadet comes and installs it on Monday, and then I'm assuming somewhere in the middle there, I can't just push the copy button. There's 2 half days of training. You know what I'm like with that, don't you? I learn by doing. I don't want to stand and so I have to have a whole heap of stuff ready that when the techie comes to teach me how to use the space station to copy and print beautiful things for you and me, that I have examples for him to print. Anyway, so because there was it was a little bit longer, my sales rep offered to do a heap of printing, and he printed it on this amazing paper stock. So you and I get to benefit from this. Everyone, yes, your peacock through the window patterns are in the mail or leaving in the morning. So our old printer seems to know that there is a new kid in town coming Friday, and it's playing up terribly. It wouldn't print yesterday. You right there, buddy boo? The chickens have gone to bed, Ginny. You don't have to hold a vigil at the window. It knows. It wouldn't print. At 1:30 in the morning, I wake up and I can hear the printer going. Double-sided printing through the window. Peacock patterns. For all of those that are waiting for them on my special offer with the Luminous. However, I wanted them single-sided and not at 1 o'clock in the morning. So Rob has finished them off at work today for me, and they finished them off at work. So if they're not in the mail already, they're going tomorrow, and you'll have them. I promise. But these are very flash. Don't think this is going to be normal, all right? This stuff is very flash. I'm just going to fold this in half this way as well, because I can see pretty much where the middle is based on the dotted line that Cass has popped on our patterns. Well, it wasn't far off. So can you see that there? That's going to get transferred onto my background. I'm going to sticky tape like we did last month, top and bottom, pop my graphite paper. There's a bit here. Do you want to see? I think we've got a couple of packs of this left, and I'm chasing it. I have to bring this stuff I really like out of the States, and I'm just waiting on them to get more stock at the moment. So I can get it over. So this goes under here, if you remember, and then you get your pen and you transfer it on. I should... No, I'm not even going to worry about it tonight. Do you remember too last month what we talked about is actually, if you've got a plate this size, there's a little tip we got from Michelle Hill with Be Mindful. Just you use it as a little outline around the edge, and it just helps you position everything really nicely. So that's another way that you can do it. Me, Jimmy and the girls on A Quilter's Life will learn from watching today's. I'm terrible. If I don't have to mark it all on, I won't. So with this one, where we're doing that little, you know, our little bendy, gnarly branches where we're hand pressing them over, I would only mark the outer line of that outer circle of stem. I wouldn't mark the inside because I'm just freestyle creating this stem. So I don't need to have all of these little fine lines on here if I don't want to. And when you see ones like this, where you've got little branches coming up, if you see that we haven't added in a little line, it's really just leaving it there as an option for you to decide where you want to join. I think you can see that there. So there is a branch, there's this line that goes up around here, and there's a branch that comes up here. Now this one up here, I have popped the line in, so you could have a little branch here with its little tab sitting underneath the main one that goes around the outside. With this one here, I can do the same thing, or I could actually take this bit that's coming up from underneath this leaf. So I'd have a little, I'm going to put this up close for you in a minute. I have a little tab that sits under that leaf there, and I could actually bring a shorter bit up around here. Pop that bit on first, and a shorter bit up, and then take this branch here and have it continue up. So I'll hold it up and show you what I mean. Up close and personal with that one. Okay, so if I hold that there for you, you see what I mean? That you can put, I can just continue this right round up here, and each of these little branches here can be little separate ones with little tabs that sit underneath, or I can pop this one on and then pop this one on up around here, and then this one here could actually be continuous that comes up around here, and that would just give it a little bit more detail. So you've got this one winding in, and then you could wind that one in. So it really is a case of how you wish to interpret. You've got a lot more stuff happening over here too. You've got one coming out from under the leaf and another one underneath that, underneath here, and this one over the top. Entirely up to you how you wish to interpret these. So they could go on in a different order. You're not going to need a long piece of fabric either, because it's all can be broken up, and you can have little joins or little gaps between pieces underneath all these outer leaves on the outside. It doesn't have to be all in one great big circle. I love this part of the process where you get to sit down and work out the order in which to add things. And with the leaves, I sort of have gone through and I've lettered and numbered them for you. So A is the fabric that you use, and then you've got 1, 2, 3 for the different leaves. But just go through and do little numbers and little circles so you work out which one you want to add in which order. Do it with a pencil, because invariably you're going to go, oh no, that one goes on before that one. But it's really, really good fun, and it's just part of the preparation step of the journey in doing this that I love this bit. Wait till we get to the geisha girls. With Mud and Butterfly. That is a big workout which goes on first. But don't worry, I've got it all covered. I've got it covered. All right. So what I would like to do with this evening is, oh no, can you see my problem? Because it's on this amazing paper, I cannot see through to the back. That's just rude. Jen, let's just see. Well, there you go. You're going to need a light box. I just want to see if I mark that. Can I see that on the back? Yes, I can. All right. I'm just going to go over these lines. When in doubt, grab the Sharpie and just make the line darker. So I'm just going to go over this one. And just looking. Yep, it goes up that way. So that's my one down the bottom. I was just checking my orientation. This is actually the base here. So I'll draw over this like this. Now remember the scoop, don't you, that we don't need to really worry about all of the lines that are in the middle for now. Add those on later, because you don't we're not going to need them for now. Alright, let me turn this back over this way. I'll just add them onto my leaf maybe with a light box before I applique it on, or again I can transfer it on with graphite paper, or I'll just wing it and I'll free draw something very close. It's botanical, so it doesn't matter. I just was able to get enough line on the front so that it will show through on the back. Okay, that is a weird looking leaf, isn't it? But that is actually it from the front. It just looks so different. Very dysfunctional looking leaf. Okay, I might just put... I'm going to need these darker later, aren't I, to actually see them through. Never mind. I'll mark them for you. I might share my little trick tomorrow on A Quilter's Life on how to draw maple leaves, because it's actually a really fun way to do it from scratch. Okay, right side, wrong side. Now we'll grab our Polyfuse. So all of the, I sort of thought, oh, jeepers, I'd better make the stand look nice for tonight, and I have put up a few lovely fabrics, as I said, that I think will also work well. I'm very conscious, a lot of you, you're either going to go one way, you're going to go, I want the quilt and I want it to look like Lisa's one that she is making this time, which will be, I did the math, this is my 4th. I've done 2 on black and 1 on cream. So I'm conscious a lot of people will want it to look exactly the same, and I totally get that. I'm a bit like that sometimes. Or you want something a little bit different. So I'll show you a few other things I've got on the stand that go with it. And I do think the maple leaf is one of the blocks that really lends itself well to being used for other things. I was looking at some of the leaves today and I thought, wow, they'd look really nice on a bag. And maybe on a little purse with some cork. Lots and lots of different options. Okay. It's on, and I have traced it onto the side without the shiny stuff. We need to cut it out. Now, I usually at this point say make sure you use your paper scissors, but because of the nature of this particular substance, it is very fibrous, and I really don't think it's going to be detrimental to your good scissors. It's so soft, I don't think it's going to blunt. Now, if my name was Maria Waters, that is not scrap. I was privileged enough to see the update of what she's working on at the moment when I was there a couple of weeks ago, and wow. But she does tiny, tiny little circles, to the point where she will use a hole punch to cut them out. I'm going to have to get Phil to grab you if you're going to keep making all that noise. Okay. Right. So, of course, the big decision now is which fabric to use. So let's have a look. You know what's happened, don't you? When I was drawing on the leaf, I still had the graphite paper sitting on my block. It's on my block. It's drawn on. Can you see it? It's. I'll be using the other side of the black magic. I did a transfer that was not intentional. Right, so in this original one, I have used 4 different batiks for the leaves, and I've used a lovely lizard, I think it's lizard batik, and then for the centre of these, I used copper fairy frost. Everything had fairy frost in it. We'll probably use fairy frost, but everything we had fairy frost in, because the whole idea was with all of the blocks that there'd be a lot or a little bit of 3D in each one. So for this one, there's not a lot, there's just these little Suffolk puffs on it. I'm going to say now, if you wanted to make it more 3D, with the maple leaves, you could use the same technique that we used last month for these leaves. You could do the bag out technique, but for the back, you would use the same fabric as the front and just put a little clip in the back, a little slit, and pull it through. So what you'd be able to do is perhaps put one down flat and then put another one over the top that's completely separate, and then use your veins on your leaves to secure it down on top of the other one. Alright, so it's kind of, it would be almost the same principle as what we're going to do with the clematis block. So I've got flat petals down underneath and then the 3D over the top. So the same sort of thought if you wanted to make it more 3D, if you wanted to. If that doesn't all make sense now, that's fine. Do the block as it is and just leave the Suffolk puffs off, and as we keep going, that will come a lot clearer for you when we do some of the other techniques. So for this block now, the 21st century version, no, we didn't do it that long ago, but what I'm doing in the new version, I'm still using 3 batiks for my leaves, but I've added in a metallic as well. So I've got, there we go. So I've got this gorgeous, it's not, it's mine, isn't it? It's just, it's olive flowering gum. That's what I'm going to use for my stems, because this time round I want a little bit more pop, a little bit more zing, and this is going to make my stems stand out more. Once I start using it for the stems, it will no longer look like flowering gum, it will just look like a metallic, like a fusion, like one of these. So that's what I'm going to use. I think it will also give them, though, a little bit more definition, because a little bit more light dark shading going on. Then for my pop, so this is going to be for a couple of my smaller leaves, the paler ones. I'm going to use this lovely thing, and it will, look, you can use them wherever you want to. Okay, so I'm doing 2 of my smaller leaves, probably these 2. I'm going to use the metallic fusions on mine, and then I've got these, so I'll run these in very similar spots to where I've got them on the quilt on the wall. So the orange will go where the where's the orange go? The orange will go where the ready leaves are. If I bring this across, this would probably make life easier, wouldn't it, if I bring this across here for you. So the yellow is going to go where the yellow is. This lovely dark brown here will go where this brown is. This orange, and that's my yellow. And yeah, and that's right. And then, oh, hang on, have I done that right? I've given you more than you need. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I haven't. Orange is these ones. So orange for the big one here. And this one across here, the little half one. Brown for the 2 brown, yellow for the yellow. And then this orangey brown here is now going to be my metallic. Then what I'll do, I'm going to also use the orange metallic for the little Suffolk puffs in the middle of all of the leaves except for the 2 leaves I've made with this. And I'll just choose one of the other ones for the contrast in the middle. You know, it'll probably be the dark brown. The yellow would work, but probably the dark brown would be really nice. So that's where I'm going with it. Totally up to you. You've got enough fabric to mess around and play in the kit to do it, you know, anyway, any combination that you want. Now, the other thing that I wanted to mention too, when I went through and did these kits up, I did find someone got carried away. Someone got very carried away. Who said still waiting for my light box to be... Oh, I'm thinking, what have I forgotten to send? But it wasn't me. We have too much spice. We have too much of this in stock. So I've done a little special on it tonight. So I have 2 bolts like this. You and I are only going to need 1 for our kits. So I've popped this on special, and it was a really lovely night to do it because this thing just had to be championed and talked about tonight. This is just beautiful autumn leaves. So to me, this is the perfect fabric if you just wanted to do the Oriental Baltimore maple leaf block as a beautiful big cushion and put a big border around it. This is the fabric for it. Okay, that is just absolutely perfect. And I've also got here So this is also on special because I bought it to go with this. Look at that. So this, when you start breaking down all the colours in the maple leaves, this is them over here. So for me, you know, if you wanted to do, just if you're in a Quilter's Life, you've got your pattern, you'll be able to download it from not tomorrow, the next day. And I would do a big cushion on black, and I would just buy 1/2 metre of this and get all my leaves out of it, because you've got all the different colours through it. And then I would do a border in this. Now, twist your head round the other way for a minute. If you have purchased or you have downloaded the twisted knitting bag pattern, remember that one we did last week? Oh, it's here, I can show you. Remember this? And no, you can't have a kit, they're all gone. They're all gone. This one that we did last week. So this was the gradations fabric in the bright rainbow. This is the same fabric in the autumn colours. So I'm thinking this for here and here with black with this. So you could make a beautiful twisted knitting bag in the autumn leaves, and then this would be what you would use for all of your pin tucks across here. So have a think about it. If you want any help with that and you think, yeah, I've got to have one, I really, I love this fabric. To me, that'd be worth it. And if you don't, I'll be making a kit up with it, because I think that would be fantastic. Because it's just perfect. It's absolutely perfect to go with it. We've also got, I just tagged these tonight so you know, if you love the whole autumn thing going on, we've got these two beautiful ones. This is our second or third bolt of each of these. This is Bounty of the Season, so again, it's all the coordinates that have been designed to go with fabrics like this. So they're going to pull up all your beautiful mustard yellows. I did tag them tonight because I confidently know I have finished using them where I need them in geisha kits. And this was the other beautiful one that came in. So this is Shades of the Season. I don't think this is tagged, you know, for under the banner tonight. So if you put the word terracotta in the search window up on the top banner on our website. Oh, I do have to apologise, Steve. I'm going to get Steve tomorrow to have a look. For some reason, the search window is not coming up if you're looking at our website on your iPad or your phone. And someone very thankfully pointed that out to me the other day, and I actually didn't believe them, but it's true. So I will get Steve onto that tomorrow because it should. But this is Shades of the Season 12 Terracotta. Beautiful, love it. So that's just another one. I should probably show that to you a bit close. Look, see, it's just all stamped out gold leaves. Just lovely. That would, see, that would be the lining. That would definitely be the lining on that bag. I know it's winter. I know it's not autumn, but really, just yum. Okay. Then if you, with those leaves, we've also got that beautiful apple green, and that's tagged as well. And it all goes. It all goes. So you could, if you want any help choosing, you know, 3 or 4 pieces to go with this, just let me know and I'll give you a hand, because I'm all over those. They're sort of in my comfort zone. So I'm all good with that. I will come back to that. I'll come back to the rest of that shelf in a minute. Let's get one of these leaves done. So the leaf that I chose to do is this big one. I'm just looking at the shape of it. Is it this one here? It is. I know it is. Oh, but it's back the front, isn't it? Of course it is. So that's it there. But it's round the other way because we're going to pick this up and put it down onto the wrong side of our fabric. So this big one is yellow. So I'm going to be naughty. You know what I'm going to do, don't you? I'm going to be naughty. I've got foam cords and stuff everywhere. So it sticks like freezer paper. And it'll peel off. It's not like sticking Glycofix on. So it will come off. So if you've popped it in the wrong spot, it will come off. I'm being silly. Let me just get the ironing board because I really need to give it a good one ho. There we go. Who said, just checking the leaves fabric, is that Timeless Treasures Autumn Leaves? I would say yes. It's called Harvest. If you put Harvest into the beautiful one, if you put Harvest in for the main one, if that's the one you mean, yes. And the other one I would put in, is it Timeless Treasures? It is. Harvest 1289 is the number on the end of the bolt. I'm pretty sure that's the one I tagged. You've also got flannel. Don't forget you've got your flannels under tonight's banner too. Beautiful flannels. I'm going to come back to those and do them justice though. I'm going to pop across and see Jennifer at Wonderful. We're going to cut these out now just with a really tight scant 1/4 inch seam. Pop across and see Jennifer and grab some beautiful threads to go with those. I was hoping to get there Monday, but that meeting and brekkie took a long time, and then Margaret and I went and did other things that I can't tell you about yet. I can't tell you about until they are ready. I'm going to launch them at the soiree. Okay, so just keep it nice and scant. Right. And then we are going to clip into these corners. Okay, so want your nice little sharp scissors. Now, because these are all outer curves with just the little V in each one, I don't necessarily need to do a lot of clipping. Few options, or two options, I can choose not to clip and I need to deal with the pleats, or we do clip and we might risk getting a couple of little lumps and bumps along the way on the curve that I can pull in as I am slip stitching it on. So I think we'll go with the clip for now. The clip is quicker, I'll give you that much, and sort of more methodical. See, it's just lifting a little bit there. I'm not too worried about that, but I could always go back and hit it with the iron again if I needed to. And oh, whatever you do, okay. I've drawn this on with dark texture so that you could see it. Please use a grey lead, because I don't want you to risk the pen showing through on the right side of your work. And whatever you do, don't use a friction, of course, because it'll just iron off when you go to iron it onto your... Well, no, that doesn't matter, does it? Does it matter? No, it doesn't matter. You could use a friction because then it will iron off when you iron your leaf shape onto your fabric, and that would be okay. I'm very excited about Karen coming over. What am I going to cook for afternoon tea? I have to pick something. Don't know. No Steve tomorrow. He's got a cold. So you've just stuck with me if you're ringing again tomorrow. Stuck with me. Okay. Just trying to find the right spot for you to see. That's pretty good, isn't it? So what we're going to do now is grab our glue stick. Tools of the trade time. Tailors or you know the other one, don't you? To use your cuticle stick is the other thing that you can use. I'm going to use the tailor's all tonight, but a cuticle stick's really good when you get down to super small, narrow things as well. It's much easier to put your glue onto the actual Polyfuse paper rather than onto your tabs. Oh, that's a really good idea, Sharon. I might make her a lemon almond syrup cake. One, because it's on my hit list for the soiree, though I'm not too sure. Can you see what I'm doing there? I'm using my tailor's awl to pick up each of my tabs and folding it over and pressing it down onto the back of the leaf. It's on my hit list, though I don't want to step on Rob's toes, Sharon, because he's doing the date and apricot scones with his homemade lemon butter. So, you know, lemon and lemon. Can you have too much lemon? I don't know. Can't have too much chocolate. Can you see that? So it's now all folded over onto the back and the front's shaped. So if I get up close and personal with this, it's got a couple of little bumps, but again, I can pull those in as I go. Yes, soiree in the Gambie, Liz. So it's on the 6th and 7th of August. It's got its own Facebook page. It's on trybooking.com. 3 projects per day. Oh, do you want to see one of mine? Do you want to see one of mine? Hang on. This is one of my projects. And it's going to come with its own little tea candle to put in the middle. So this is a take on my Melba Christmas dish. But now, see, it's got holes. This is my little tea candle holder. So the whole idea, the whole idea is that I'm doing them for safety for the soiree with a little battery operated one in my kit. But if you then take it home and you put a glass one with a real candle, the light's going to shine through here as well, through these little holes. And I'm doing it in 5 different colours. So there will be 5 colours spread through all of the project bags at the soiree. And then if you want to switch colours, you can. So I'm doing them in different combinations. So this one I've fussy cut and put all of the black and orange on the inside. But some of them I'm alternating, some of the feature on the inside and the outside. But you'll see them all come together in the 5 different colours. So that's one of my projects. And I'll be showing you, Karen's will be here with her on Saturday as well. So, yeah, that's what we're doing. Don't forget I'm making... No, Sylvia, I have not forgot about that at all. Don't you worry. No, haven't. Sylvia has kindly offered to supply melting moments. Sylvia lives up that way. How cool is that? All right, let's get another little bit of this over. See, if you cut, you can end up with a little bit of a bump at each spot where you've cut. But you've just got to be a little bit careful, and it's going to be about finding the technique that you like the best. But the best advice I can give you is not to put your glue on your tabs, because then the glue picks to it and sticks to it and it starts to fray. And I only add glue to one side at a time. Not because it's going to dry out, but you need a little bit of glue on the overlap at the points, so it's better just to wait. There you go, so you can see. Pre-shaping, and then this is going to stay in. I know, it's hard to get your head around, isn't it? But it's going to stay there. And this is very therapeutic. It's really nice to sit and do this. As you go, you'll just check that you might need to cut a little bit further down into your V's if you're not happy with how far it's come over. And when you do pull your fabric over, if it has been slit, always make sure that you pull over a little bit more. Don't finish with the end of your cut right on the fold, or you'll get fraying along that edge. Always pull it over a little bit further, and you will get a slightly smoother edge on it. Alright, and pop this around this way. So what's happening next? So, well, Lisa has to find her cherry blossom block. Oh, see what I mean? You've got to put the bit of glue on the bit you've just folded over. Lisa's got to find her cherry blossom block. Lisa has finished all the borders for her applique sampler and she'll be adding them on tomorrow. I'll be emailing out all my club members first because I want you to have a full picture of it finished. So, quilted. So I'll be doing an email out with the quilt top together with the last little tips on what I did for my borders. A lot of people have already finished with their own designs, but I've got mine done, so I'll send that out. Peacock through the window. I'm making one too. You know, we started one as a sample. We don't always finish them, particularly if something sells out, but I've decided I will be doing one, so we'll be getting stuck into that. I've already started, of course, but that's happening. And there's the most amazing collection of beautiful, beautiful paisleys arriving tomorrow. So I will have those to show you when they come in. I thought about whether to sort of do a heap of stuff and show you all the new things while Karen's here. But I thought, no, I'm not going to do that. We'll make that shows all about Karen. I'm sort of laughing to myself that I've been quilting for so long now. Maybe my first quilts are vintage, but I don't think that's what it's all about. Hey, Jen. So, now you can see I could keep going and I could keep going, but I won't do that to you. Let me just get this side down and then we'll talk slip stitching. I don't mind just tacking this one onto the block for the sake of just going through that with you. Because when we did our ones from last month, we really didn't tackle a lot of slip stitching. We came back on the Saturday and talked about different threads. So I think we might just do that. If I just sit this on the black, so that you can see. So you do get a really, really nice finish with the Polyfuse, all stuck down on the back, and it's going to stay in there. And it does give the quilt, it does give it a fair bit more guts and substance to it, but only to the point really of when you come to quilt it, because after that, once you've got the batting on the back and everything with it, it sort of, it all evens out, and it does break down over time. I have had a good feel of some Marie's quilts and others that have been made, and by the time they've been quilted, and of course when they're washed, it just all breaks up. And, you can't tell it's there anymore. So I really, really like it. There is some in all of the geisha kits that have gone out. You've got some Polyfuse in there because there are some elements of the quilt that I think that's going to be the best technique for us to use it with. So we will get to those. Thimble. It was here. I know it was here. Got it. Alright, now I've got a lot of fluff and stuff on this background now. I'll pick this little corner here and I can come back and pull it off and do mine later. So there we go. A couple of options. Alright, so you can choose to tack. If you're going to pre-shape all of your pieces and have them ready on the block to sit in front of the telly on Saturday and do them all, then I would definitely tack them all on. Liz, absolutely. If you go to Needleworkers Soiree on Facebook, you will find it. And if you go to trybooking.com, you will find it. It's all there, and there's 2 days. 2 days for you. Donna is not coming to the soiree, but we forgive her for that wholeheartedly, Liz, because she's in the UK. So she's not coming. So we forgive those that are on the other side of the world for not coming to the soiree this time. Not sure about the next time, we may not. Now, as I was going to say, if you want to get all your pieces on so you just can sit in your merry way and slip stitch them all, please tack them all on. If you are not, and you're going to do one at a time, then you've got the option of just pinning them But you won't want to pin with big pins. You'll want applique pins. You want the nice little short ones that are not going to get in your way while you're doing it. Thank you, Yvonne. That is lovely. I know, Donna, we'd love you to go too. Don't worry, Margaret and I and Karen will bring the soiree to you sometime. Maybe around Birmingham. Liz, are you really? Okay, so Liz, we're going to the soiree. We're doing it in the Mechanics Institute Hall. There should be flyers up on the door now, and we're going to the rowing club for dinner on the Saturday night. So book out in the lake room, okay? And we're all going to be there, and the rest of us are we're all staying at the waterfront. No excuse, but email me at info@Chandlers Cottage, and I will shoot you up all the details. We really do want to get more stitches from the surrounding areas of Ngambie. We've got a lot of our beautiful girls coming up from Melbourne, and we just want more girls to come from up there so we can, you know, put everyone together. Like-minded people from all different places around the state. I'm just going to pin, because doing one at a time, and I'm popping pins in my V's, and because it's already all shaped, we're good. I am going to put you through. I am going to put you through needle turning during this whole exercise one night, but I won't do it until I've given you 3 or 4 different options that you might like better. Threads for handwork. Fine is good. If you don't want to invest in new threads, and you've got really good quality machine threads like King Tut, like this guy here, which is my go-to gold colour, then that's what you're going to use. But if you can invest perhaps in some finer ones, you are just going to enjoy the process a lot more. This is 40 weight. And then when you come down to Superior Threads Masterpiece, so we've got these little boxes on the website. This is not mine, but you've seen me use them a lot. I don't even know this one here. Here we go. There's one. So this is 50 weight. So this is slightly finer, but it still has a really good strength to put through your machine. But they come in these little boxes. So there's pastel sets, and then there's bright sets. So these are a lovely thing just to invest in one or 2 of these. Then you've got all the colours of the rainbow that you need for your quilt, all in one go. So they're good. They're in the thread section, and they come on little plastic bobbins. They're really cute to use. They store well in these. I love them. Then if you've already got a lot of threads that are really lovely, and you just want to go with a couple of different ones, I pulled ones that go with tonight colours. I haven't put them under the banner, so if you would like to put the word Efina, E-F-I-N-A, Efina by Wonderful, into the search window, it will bring all of these up. So these are beautiful, and these are finer again. These are 60 weight. So they're a little bit finer. You can run them through the machine if you want to as well, but you might need to have a little bit of a play, and you might need to drop off your tension a little bit. I've decided to run with these colours for this block. And so I've got number 26. Let's do the bingo thing. Number 26. This beautiful orange. So that's going to go with both my oranges. And that's number 47. I don't know all the bingo terms, sorry. And I love this green. Oh my goodness. I know I've already got this one in my stash. This is number 11. And that, look, see? Look at that. Beautiful. And the gold is number 46. Now, number 46. The gold is darker, but I'm going to use it for this one because I know that I can also use it in other spots, like on the darker buds and things I'm going to need it for. On the chrysanthemum, and can't use it on the ruching. We need a stronger thread for that, so we'll talk about that when we get to it, but it doesn't have to be a perfect colour match. But this one's really good, so I'm going to use this one for mine tonight. Then and I know we talked about needles probably before, but when it comes to needles, I did put under the banner my applique needles tonight in 3 different sizes. The larger the number, the smaller the size. If you haven't done a lot of handwork before, I would recommend not letting Lisa open your cotton, because she's going to take for ages. There we go. I would start with a 9 Yeah, and work your way down to a 12. There are assorted packs of applique there as well, but I would start with a 9 if you haven't actually used them before. You hear my phone buzzing? That's all these people on the Facebook page for the soiree asking me questions, which I will answer after I've spent time with you. Okay, don't go too big on your thread, just a nice little bit. And a needle. Oh my goodness. Please tell me. No. Yes. This is big for me. This is a size 9. Okay. So the applique needles are flexible, so they will bend and help you manipulate corners and curves. You don't need the strength that you need with a piecing needle. Okay. All right. Now, please remember, I follow in the steps of the amazing Alex Anderson. I'm a lefty. So just keep that in mind when you're watching me. The principles are the same. It's just that if you're right-handed and you're looking at this, I would be working from this side, but I'm a lefty, so I go from this side. But essentially, if you're right, you're going to work from right to left. So I want you to bring your needle up. Heavens, girls, we just did this on Quilter's Life this afternoon. I want you to bring your needle up right on the fold of your work. So it's come up from the back. There you go. I'm going to pull it a little bit closer. There you go. So it's gone up through the back, comes up on the front, and it's right up on the fold. Fold or the curve over, okay, on the fold. Pull it all the way through, and then put your needle back in, right directly underneath into the background. So it's come up right here on the edge. I'm going straight back down with my needle. Then I travel along underneath. So if you look underneath, you can see the shiny bit of my needle under there. Where is it? It's there. That's my needle at the back. And then about 1/8, no more than 1/4 of an inch, I'll bring it up on the fold again on the front, and then pull my needle through and just pull it in nice and snug. Must be bedtime. I'll do a couple of these and then I will show you the result, because in getting a good slip stitch going, you literally end up with no thread on the top at all. So you always go down directly where you came up on the fold into the background, travel along underneath, bring it up on the fold again. When I used to teach people and they couldn't get this invisible stitch, they would come up on the fold, travel along on the top of their work, then do a quick duck down underneath and up again, almost like an invisible hemming stitch, and you would always end up with thread on the top. Okay. You'll find it so stable with the Polyfuse in there, really will. It's quite amazing. Right, so I'll give you a look. So now you can see there's all my stitches on the back. So they're all there. And there is no stitches showing on the front. It's clean. There's absolutely nothing along that curve. And it's not rocket science, it's just getting the right combination going. So I really do think this is it's almost like a great introduction to needle turn. And if this had been around when I started needle turning, I think I would have been able to convince a lot more people to try needle turn, because you've got all the hard work in getting the curves pre-shaped down into the bellies, into the points is done first. And then all you're doing when you're coming along in your slip stitching is tidying up if you need to. So if I ended up with any, little loose threads down in these V's, which I've got one over here, over on this one there's a little thread sticking up. It's all the hard work is done. All I have to do as I go is just push that little bit of thread underneath. Oh, now, little tip for you, because I haven't done needle turn applique for so long. When you do get to a point and your fabric is not behaving and you've got a bit of fraying going on, the best thing to do, I was explaining to the Quilter's Life guys the other day, water. Water is the best thing. So just have a little dish little thimble size dish, something small, you know, sitting around with a cotton bud in it. And if you get to one of those V's and you've got little fraying, little fibres coming out, just a little dab of water, and all of a sudden your fabric's going to behave completely differently, and it will be compliant, and it will do as it's told, and it won't spring back when you tuck it underneath. So if you think about when you wash a t-shirt or a jumper or something, you know, it's beautiful and elastic, and the moment that you wet it, it all goes soggy, and you've got to lay it out flat for it to dry so it doesn't stretch. Same thing. Wet the fibres and then they will behave better. I can't remember if it was Maria or it was me. I can't actually remember now, but I do remember having fabric that was a lot thicker, and what was it? Oh, it was me. I was using Polyfuse to pre-shape some very naughty silk, so it's sort of, you know, it's fibrous and it's thicker and it wasn't behaving. Quick bit of water, behaved itself, and I could shape it. So just keep that in mind as you go as well. But it's, look, this technique's really, really nice to use. The kits have got enough, like this piece of Polyfuse is ample for you to do all of your leaves, and you can be really frugal with it. You don't need to leave a gap between them, so you can butt them all up against each other really nicely to get them all out of there. And your little bits that you've got left over, just hold on to those, and you'll be able to use them for other little things along the way. With the Suffolk puffs in the middle, they are what we did last month for your cherry blossoms, but only up to the stage of having a really nice little Suffolk puff. They are small, so remember just what I talked about last month too. If you've got a circular, if you've got a stencil with different size circles and things on it, grab that. If you haven't grabbed one yet, get one at Officeworks or at the Newsagent or somewhere, because you won't regret it. So use that technique up to the stage of the Suffolk puff to do your centres, if you wish. I mean, you might decide you want to put little buttons or other things. So you've got all of your instructions in. Oops, sorry. All your instructions are in there. Do little Suffolk puffs. I've also popped in there your little colonial knot and stem stitch instructions if you haven't got any of those handy for doing the embellishment of the leaves and things that are on the blocks. Thread wise for those, I mean, all of mine are just done with DMC thread, so I haven't gone overboard. I'll give you a close up on that. So it's just stem stitch and colonial knots in the middle, and over here these little berries. With these little berry seed things that I've popped on, which you do have on an Acer dissectum, maple leaf tree, colonial knots, and if you don't want to do colonial knots, beads. Now, if you are not a hand sewer, and I have revealed to most of you now, I've had a really bad run with my hands, and you don't want to do it by hand, this pre-shaping works equally as well with Monopoly Applique by machine. So when we got together last Saturday, I know it's been over a week and a half, and we talked about different threads. Monopoly is by machine with a blanket stitch or a hemming stitch is still feasible to go through the Polyfuse, because it's lovely and it is, you know, it's holding its shape, but it's beautiful and soft, and so your needle's going to just cut through it like butter. So because I'm sort of saving my hands a bit, I'm all right now with slip stitching again, but doing 5 of these in a row and English paper piecing, you know how it's a different it's a different way that you hold, and it's my thumbs. So I could very well turn around and actually pre-shape all mine and pop them on with Polyfuse before we talk next month. And the same with the stem stitch, if you don't want to do the embroidery by hand, like we talked about with the leaves on the cherry blossom, triple stitch on the machine will be great as well. And actually Vel's waiting for me, because Vel asked me to pick out some colours, some more colours for her to use with her Be Mindful quilt. And we're coming up to the next instalment of Be Mindful as well, so I'll be finishing off my glider block and starting on the wattle block over the weekend, so that we're ready for that next week as well for the girls that are in the Be Mindful Club. And she talked to me about different threads. So yeah, I'll have to have a think now. I don't know whether I want to do this with machine embroidery threads or do it by hand. Probably machine. I'll probably do it machine so I can keep up with you. That's probably what's going to happen. All right, so I think that's, you know, we're just about there for tonight, because I want you to all get cracking and get onto your blocks. I popped up one of the theatre bags as well tonight, because I literally just went, I haven't done an offer on the Girls on Frames for a while. So despite the fact of the offer I made with the peacock through the window, and we had a fight with our printer here, it knows there's a new one coming. And I may or may not have had a little bit of a disagreement with my printer off-site, so it just, I sent the files 5 times and they weren't done. Anyway, they're going out now. Despite that, I'm good for the next offer. I promise I'm good for the next offer, which is if you order one of the theatre bag frames before the next banner goes up. So, you know, sooner than later is probably a good idea. For this gorgeous frame, I'm popping in the red fabric with it. So you would need to find your own lining, and oh wow, like you haven't got enough at home for your lining. But I'm popping in the rust red with the frame, so you will get the fabric for the outside for free, just in case you need that little kick on to have a go. Now, I'm also going to say with that though, if you wanted to, you could actually use the fabric I'm giving away with the frame for the lining, and you could grab your black with your autumn leaves and you could make yourself the most beautiful bag and take your autumn leaves from your maple block and applique these across. So I think that would be really, really lovely. For me, it'd have to be the black flannel that I've tagged for tonight, and I would be appliquing onto flannel or stitching the maple leaves in pearl thread onto flannel and popping them onto this bag, which would just be a beautiful, rich, decadent evening bag, maybe with some gold beads, and then use the fabric you're going to get for free for your lining. So, and if you ever want any advice on batting, you know, for when you buy a kit, Lisa, which batting do I buy, how much batting do I need, all that sort of stuff, please don't hesitate to put a note on your order. We can always add it in for you or give you advice. You know, and I want to give advice first, because sometimes you've actually already got it in your stash and you just don't know which one we've used. So please remember to have a chat about batting. That has got rubber foam batting in it. So that's just a little offer tonight. I can pop in that rust red for you, and you can use it on the outside or the lining to make yourself a beautiful autumn themed bag. Did my battery go flat? Nope. Just have turned it on. Do you want one more look? Oh. There is a picture of it on Facebook and on the Needleworkers Soiree Facebook page. So there's more to go up tomorrow. I've got to put up all of my door prizes and things as well. So that's got to be organised. Right. I think that's it. I'm feeling very prim and proper now at the news desk. I will see you officially Saturday at 2 o'clock, and it was a long time between drinks, wasn't it? But I will see you Saturday at 2 o'clock. If something else comes up in the meantime that I feel is critical that I need to share, gossip, fabric or otherwise, I will pop on and say hi, and I'll give you an hour's warning if I can. I'll just pop on like I did the other morning at the restaurant. You all found me. So I will do that for you. But in the meantime, please do enjoy the rest of your week, and thank you very much for joining me this evening. And yes, Quartus Life members, if you haven't joined, you've literally got 24 hours to join if you want to grab down the Cherry Blossom block as part of your membership. And if you're already in the club, get that thing down quick before we take it down tomorrow night. And in terms of Madame Butterfly, the geisha quilt, I will show it on a Facebook page again. She's sitting over here hidden at the moment. You've got till the end of the month. That's going to creep up really quickly too, to get your patterns downloaded and get started on your ginger pot and your lanterns. All right. Thank you. Thanks again. And if I don't see you before, I will see you on Saturday. Okay. Bye.